Hey, 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 welcome to another edition of Studio Takes. I'm Dane Scott. So happy to be with you. It's been over a week since I've done one of these things, and it seems like a month. My goodness, when you're doing them regularly and suddenly there's a little gap, it just feels weird. Anyway, it's a good day to be here with you.
Hello? Is this thing on?
That's got to be Pocket Frog. Good to have you. Hello there.
What's up?
What's up? Well, today, two things that can get you on FIVER. Hidden things that we may not even consider, but can have a big impact on where we show up in the search rankings and how well we do on the platform. Coming up.
Studio Takes. Real help for the aspiring voiceover artist and FIVER entrepreneur.
It's typical on FIVER that, some days are diamonds and some days are stones. It's chicken one day and it's feathers the next. You may be at an ebb tide and then the tide comes in. All kinds of analogies you can use. You ever find yourself in that situation?
Oh, yeah.
I do too. Matter of fact, I'm having a little bit of a slower month right now after really an incredible first part of the year. So, it happens to everybody. But there are things we can do about it and some things that we can't. Still, because of the nature of the things we can't necessarily do something immediately about, it's a really good thing to know about them. So that's what I'm going to tell you about here. First, just a real quick message on coaching. Hi, I'm voice coach Dane Scott. Whether you want to improve as a voiceover artist or you just want to learn to speak and communicate more clearly, let me help. Here are a few comments from some of my students.
Working with Dane has been incredible. The weeks following, anytime I have a session with him or have worked with him or have taken one of his classes, I actually have an uptick in my success levels on all the platforms I'm on.
I've been training with Dane for about a month now, both on technical issues and learning to interpret copy. And I feel so much more confident when I send out my demos and samples for castings. Whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, Dane Scott has something for you. Thanks, Dane.
I always leave feeling positive with actionable advice that I can put into action right away. And he has just so much wisdom to give you.
Invariably, the clients who ask me to use a certain tone that I use in my demos, those will be scripts that Dane helped to coach me in. So I've got a pretty good coach.
Dane knows what he's doing. That's why he's the gig doctor. Work with him, and he is going to work with you.
There are two ways that I'm going to talk about today that can get you not into trouble necessarily on FIVER, but can put you in the doghouse a little bit. Or it can just put you behind the eight ball. Man, I'm just Mr. Analogies today, aren't I? The first thing I want to talk about is private reviews. A lot of times we'll get a review on FIVER, and it's usually a positive one. They'll give you the 5 stars. They want to be polite, and they might even put a nice comment down. If those things happen, it's great. But it doesn't mean that they're 100% satisfied. Sometimes people just feel the obligation, to leave a 5-star rating if they weren't dissatisfied. But there are situations where they might not be quite as satisfied as they seem. And when that happens, it can show up in a private conversation that FIVER has after orders are completed. What FIVER does is, at the end of an order, they will send a little survey, not publicly, just kind of a private survey, saying, how did they really do? Rate them and give us your comments. It's a private review, and it's one that can have an impact, more impact than we realize. And the result can be that it will take a ding in the search results. Our impressions will go down, and it can have somewhat of a lasting effect. I'm not sure exactly how long that stuff stays in the queue and how long it is impactful, but it is something to consider that when we are communicating with our clients, we need to be very careful to try and be courteous, to be considerate, to be on their side, to be in their tribe, as I like to say, from beginning to end. So they really feel that you are their advocate and you're doing everything you can to make them happy and to give them value. Because if you maybe get a little snippy here and there, it can have an impact that you are not aware of in the way FIVER views you because of those private reviews. The second thing I want to mention is conversion rate. I hear this a lot. I don't understand why my impressions have gone down on FIVER. In other words, how often I'm showing up in the search results or on the first page, second page, somewhere in those top search results. Why is it that I used to be there, and even though I'm still, getting some good sales and maybe my average sale price is good, my impressions seem to be slipping off. And something that we need to be aware of is the fact that one of the impactful factors on FIVER is your conversion rate. What that means is, okay, let's say that you get an impression in the form of, your gig image shows up on the first page, and you get some clicks as a result of that, people inquiring. And of those clicks, out of 100 clicks, you get maybe one person that orders. That person has been converted. That's what the conversion rate refers to. So what is the percentage of conversion that you're getting on the impressions that FIVER is giving you? FIVER is providing you with the opportunity. Is your gig, because of its pricing and the demo and the general impression you leaving FIVER in the lurch, so to speak? In other words, we did our side. We brought them through the door to you, but you didn't make the sale. If that happens for a while or consistently, or there's a stretch of time when that happens, you're going to slip in FIVER's search algorithm because they're going to consider that you're not delivering the goods, or that people are not as interested in you as they might be in someone else. So the conversion rate is a kind of a factor more than people realize. Best solution to that is to just make absolutely sure you're doing everything you can in your gig demo and in your pricing to be attractive. Is what you're offering something people are going to want at the price you're offering it at? And are you presenting it in such a way that it entices people to buy? So if you're seeing a slip in your conversion rate, and using Gig Tracker, that spreadsheet that I've mentioned is a good way to do that. Check out the podcast and the Studio Takes YouTube video that has to do with Gig Tracker. And if you don't have that, download it, because that allows you then to track where you're at on your conversion rates from week to week to week. See whether you're going up, whether your percentage is going down, because again, knowing that can kind of help you get an idea of where the problem might lie. If your impressions are going down, well, how have your conversion rates been? And check that out. And then again, be considering what you can do to make your customers just as happy with you as you can. Part of the solution to that is being happy with them. In other words, try to like your buyers. Try to feel for them. Try to get on their side and do everything you can to make them happy, because it makes you happy to make them happy. You take that attitude and everything goes better all the way around. Hope you're enjoying these. Be sure to click the thumbs up thing.
I love those thumbs up.
Over at the podcast, and the bell and subscribe at YouTube. And I'll catch you on the next one.
You give me a call.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.